gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Yep.
Yo. What happened to you? What happened to your mic?
You hear me?
You come in here with your hand on your head.
You can hear me now?
Can hear you now.
All right. Welcome back, everybody, to another night of Island Boys Football Talk.
He
We
depressed
got
already.
Jizzle in the building, representing the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm Sweetie, representing the Carolina Panthers. Shane is away on walk. I don't think he wants to talk about the 49ers anyway right now. But we should have him back next week. But we're streaming off of our live platform, our YouTube platform, Island Boys Football Talk, as well as our Facebook platform. And the show will go up on Twitter shortly. So you can always watch it back after, or you can join in with us live. Um, it's week 5. We're gonna wrap up week 5. In this show, the Panthers humiliating loss to the Bears. Jizzle had a boy, but we still talk about the state of two teams heading into after the first quarter of the season. You can like and subscribe to our page. We'll really appreciate it. Show your love by liking and subscribing to our page. And if you do want to show your love, you can always send us a cash at Money Island Boys Talk. So, like I said, we're hitting into week 5. Week 5 is all but wrapped up. The Panthers had a humiliating loss in my eyes to it. Jizzle had a boy, but we didn't do a show last week, so he was coming off a loss anyhow against
Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay. So we'll dive into the two teams and what the state is of the Panthers, which doesn't look good right now, and what's the state of the Eagles as we go forward. So, I'll start because we had a game again. Started off against Chicago, we held them to a 3-0. Started good. Started to pound the rock. Chuba Howard had a 33 or 34-yard touchdown run, and that was it for the Panthers. After that, it just went downhill right after. We made Caleb Williams look like a true number 1 pick. We made DJ Moore look like the true number 1 receiver. We made the Bears look like a championship contender the way they played on both sides of the ball. And just watching the game, and I know me and Jizzle just watching the game and just analyzing, it's clear that Carolina is depleted of talent. Let's just hold no punches. The team is very, very depleted of talent. and that shows especially on the defensive side of the ball. We were talking about it today. You can't get no pass rush. You lost your best player on the team, Derek Brown, who had a monster year the year before. He had over 100 tackles for defensive tackles. You don't hear that. That's linebacker tackles. He had 100 tackles. JC Han is there. You lost your not true leader, Shaq Thompson. Joseph Jewell is injured. Jordan Fuller is injured. Jadavion Clowney got injured. DJ Wanham, who you saw him to be the opposite of DJ, hasn't played yet for the season. Who's the Panthers really playing? Half of the passes, well, in my eyes on the defensive side, 70% of the players are backups. Shouldn't be starting in the NFL. If I go through it right now, you got Ishan Robinson, Shai Tuttle, and probably LeBron Ray. Ishan is the only one. He's a first and second down lineman, but Shai Tuttle should be a backup. LeBron Ray should be on the practice squad. Trevor Wallace, a few bright spots. Trevor Wallace, our rookie, third round rookie. Jizzle, who you had an eye on as well. He had 15 tackles in his debut.
Who Kevin Wallace?
No, our thing, our Trayvon Wallace, our
Oh,
linebacker.
I thought you mean for us.
No, our linebacker. With no Shaq Thompson, no Joseph Jewell, he had to wear the green dot to communicate. You can tell that he's a rookie because he had some communication errors, especially when they were hurry up. But he had 15 tackles, 10 solo. First rookie to do that since you know who, Luke Kuechly. So he
I
had
wish the
some bright
Kobe Dean
spot.
could have do that.
He was all around the football. I remember I was telling you he stuffed up Roshan Johnson on fourth down. Roshan Johnson about 230 something pounds. So you can tell he's a rookie. He has to clean up stuff, but he played pretty well. But outside of him, his running mate Sherilus, that's a practice squad player. Mike Jackson and JC Han, I can live with that. That's a good tandem to me. Safeties, Nick Scott shouldn't be in the NFL right now. And Xavier Woods, he's at to me he's about to get at basically shouldn't be at the team either. So we knew Dan Morgan depleted the defensive side to help the offensive side. We just can't catch a break because on the offensive side, the Dalton Magic kind of wore off very fast. No fault of Dalton, but we had a game plan that the Bears were ranked like 22nd in rush yards allowed. You just had Chuba Hubbard dominate the first few drives. Don't go away from him. The score is 14-7. The score only got out of hand right out to the half when they scored the back-to-back things. But that's on you. That's because we stopped running the ball. Our our motto and our mindset should be for the Panthers right now to pound the rock. Chuba Hubbard is averaging the most yards per rush in the NFL. And that says a lot about their offensive line. It creates it creates second and fives, third and three. Those are stuff that you want to be in. I think Canada's got a little bit away from the run because he felt the game was getting out of hand. But I would have never done that because if I look at the scores, the first quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, we were even. It's the second quarter that got out of hand. They scored about, I think, 28 or 21 points or 24 points in the second quarter. And that was only down to the ending, like coming to halftime. We should have stuck to the run. That's all we can do right now. Run the ball effectively. Tight ends, Trammell Tremble, he got knocked clean out of the game from one lick. I don't know. Chuba Hubbard was the only bright spot. Dalton looked good, but it's like we couldn't throw. And again, it goes back to the persons that watch NFL and understands the game of NFL. KG heard me saying it over and over. I was a heavy on Twitter the whole game.
Attack the
If you don't take shots down the field, the defense will sit on the short route and you will not get nothing done. And so said, so done. Going down the field doesn't mean you're gonna catch it. Going down the field can mean a incompletion, it can mean a pass interference, it could mean an interception. The difference is though, you can't sit on short routes. Because players, again, in the second half, they started to do. You can see Parsons get beat easy. Mingo had a big catch. Just throw the ball down the field sometimes. If you watch other teams, the reason the offense is so effective is because they stretch the field. It's not to say, yes, you want to get a completion, but having deep routes dial up, it makes your defense play honest because you cannot jump shorter routes. You don't need a star to run a deep route. I was telling somebody, I told me and somebody on Twitter was talking about it, and he said, finally, this guy gets it because you can't play in the NFL like that. And then 10 seconds later, they do a deep roll to the worst player. Them should do a deep roll to that was Jonathan Mingo.
Mingo.
And then the first thing the fella says, well, they listen to us, but I don't know why they picked Mingo as a deep roll. That's the only thing I couldn't understand. Mingo didn't play the ball properly last track. Mingo is absolutely the worst player to go down the field on. Right now, he shouldn't even be on the starting lineup. But you have to take chances down the field. It opens up the whole field for you. All the Bears was doing was jumping on the shot routes. That's why the Panthers' offense looked anemic. Passing. The rushing was going good, but we couldn't do nothing on offense because you're gonna go there and throw out routes, throw these in route. All the Bears are doing are playing it. They're playing that route. And we should know better as a football team. Dave Canales, like I like Dave Canales. I have no problem with Dave Canales play calling. My only issue with it is that I think he's a little too tentative at times. That you have to. Okay, look, I know Thielen is out. I know all of those stuff is going on. Deontay Johnson was a little banged up. Leggett was banged up on his shoulder, so we didn't really have much to deal with. That's not the point. The point is you still have to play football. Jalen Coker came in. I was telling KD, I'm a fan of Jalen Coker. His road concepts are way better than Mingo. I feel he should be starting over Mingo. He's a he's somebody that was highly touted as one of those undrafted free that everybody wanted. And just because he was in a smart school, but I believe he should get more chances with Thielen. Oh, Thielen, Leggett, I mean Leggett, Deontay, and Coker should be the three going out there. But my thing about it is you have to learn how to stretch the field. This team doesn't do well stretching the field. And I heard some stuff from Canales during the press conference, and so you can say what you want about, oh, we were in unimaginable third downs, we were third and longs or lacking. So, yeah, that's because you fucking want to just do a shot route every time and you get incomplete. But if the defense know you only shot route, then how you gonna get it? Run the ball, take your play action, and go down the field. It will open up the field. The corners cannot sit on routes. The safeties will try to bite down, and you can beat them down the field. Now they can't say, "Oh, I gotta stay back a little bit." Now the field opens up. That's our issue. We get too caught up in these short passes to Dalton to get the ball out fast. We have some of the best offensive line set in the NFL right now. Poor PFF. The line is holding up. Dalton has time. Throw the ball down the field. Throw it down the field. Yes, we need to get what you call it. We need to get more productivity from our tight ends. Yes, Leggett needs to get better. Yes, Deontay needs to be more consistent, but we have to put ourselves in game. After playing two games by the Raiders and the Bengals, those two games were games that you can see, all right, the Panthers are looking trending in the right direction. Yeah, nobody say that you're gonna win. Problem was you took a big step back against the Bills, and I hope that was just a hiccup. And now you go into this game against Atlanta better, but it's gonna be harder because see, center Austin Corbett. I like Corbett. He was one of the only few centers that hadn't a lot of pressure or sack for the whole season. He tore his bicep. He ruptured his bicep. Now he's out for the season. Who are you gonna put in? Braden Christensen, who's moved around the line. He's gonna be a starting center. And our Mr. Reliable Taylor Moton. hurt his elbow, and he's now out this week and is considered week to week. He was our Iron Man. I think he played like 120 straight games. And if you do the maths in the NFL, it's like 16 games a season only till a couple of seasons ago. So he's been playing for over 8 years nonstop. Now he's gonna miss time. So against Atlanta that has Judan and Big Baby and those guys, you gotta be ready. But it's a game that I think that we can compete. Again, the defensive side is so depleted. I don't know what I expect. I just opened my phone and read a report. We just saw in Shaq Larson because we are so devastated on the. We can't rush the passer. The passer is there. The blitzes don't work. The four-man rush don't work. We're gonna have our hands full with Bijan and Algier. They might run for 250 yards because I don't know who's trying to stop the run.
No Derek Brown.
No Derek Brown, Ashawn can't do it by himself. So to me, it's really, really. I don't want to. I don't want to say it's aggravating. It's really disappointing to watch that even concepts do the basics. We can't even do that right. Now you're playing a team that has dynamic Bijan and then Algier, who's a bully of a runner that does that outside zone run better than any team in the NFL. Cause that's all they run, the outside zone. Push you out and then you make the cut and then you go. We have to watch how they play. Now our edge is gonna be Clowney. Shaq Larson should play. We resigned Marquise Haynes, who played for us for quite a few seasons. Thomas Incoon, Taron Jackson. We got some players that are on the edge. We got to see how the line holds up. But again, the issue is the state of the Panthers is after the first quarter of the NFL. The state of the Panthers is, if I have to use a word to describe the state of the Panthers, it's I had a word and I just forget it. That's how bad the Panthers got me. It's confusing, I should say. 'Cause what are we looking at as the season goes on? 'Cause Bryce Young isn't playing. We're 1-4, technically not out of it, but we're so ravaged with injuries. What are we looking at as the season goes on? We're still waiting for Jonathan Brooks to come back. We're waiting for DJ Wanham to come back. I- who are your core players that you can rely on as the season goes on? That's quarterback. It looks like Bryce Young is done in Carolina. That's just how it looks to me. Running backs, Chuba Hubbard is a free agent. You would want to sign him back, but you're not going to pay heavy dollars for a running back. But Chuba and Jonathan Brooks would be a good starting point. Wide receiver, honestly, I don't know if you're going to trade Thielen or Deontay, but you got Xavier Leggett. I ain't even counting Mingo. Only Leggett you got. Tight end, Tremble is not the tight end of the future. Jatavian, I'll give him the pass for the rookie. The line is set. The line looks nice. Well, Corbett is a free agent. But Cobbett's been injured the past 2 seasons. So you can't bank on Cobbett to come back and play healthy next season. So you done a center. When this draft that just passed had a plethora of centers that could play good. The center for Pittsburgh is top 4 in the league. And he was there to draft in the second round. We didn't. There's a few more other ones. Cooper Beebe, Bartolone, Bo Limo, all of those are playing at a high level. We didn't draft any center. On the defensive side of the ball, there's only Derek Brown on the line that is a focal point for next season. There's absolutely nobody else. Derek Brown, Trayvon Wallace, and JC Hahn. That's the only 3 players that I know of kind of like focal points for the team.
What about
That
Chuba Hubbard?
But he's a free agent after this year. So somebody may offer him more money. We don't have the cap space to go and offer Chuba Howard 12 million when you just draft Jonathan Brooks. You understand what I'm saying? We may want to give him an extension, but if I'm Dan Margon and I know my team needs assets other places, I'm not spending money on a running back position. You understand what I'm trying to say? I would have to draft a late round running back and pair him up with Jonathan Brooks. The most I given Chuba Hubbard is 5 or 6 million a year. You understand what I'm trying to say? Because the team is so depleted that you have to spend that asset somewhere else. You have to. We don't have an edge rusher at all. Clowney is not the answer. He's 31 going 32. He's here next season if you don't trade him. That's it. We have no premier edge rusher. Does the draft have one? They have some good ones, but they're not performing at a high level. We need to draft an edge rusher. Linebackers, you got Trayvon Wallace. I don't know what's gonna happen with Shaq Thompson. He's a free agent. You're gonna need. You're gonna need safeties. Cornerback, you got JC Hahn. Mike Jackson, I would try to resign him, but that's it. We need to draft a cornerback. Like I said, we need playmakers. The key for this offseason was taken away from the defense to add to the offense. The first 2 weeks of the season, the offense was horrendous. Like, literally, you would vomit watching the offense. The next 2 weeks, it was sky high with the Red Rifle. And then this week, I don't even know how to explain it. We just took ourselves out of the game. So hopefully it was just a 1 week blip. But again, there's not much, and I don't blame. If you look at Twitter and see how much person talk, I can't blame Dan Morgan. I'm not blaming Dave Canales. Dave Canales is only in his 5th game as a head coach. Why would I blame Dave Canales? I can't blame Dan Morgan because you know how much money in dead cap we got this year? 55 million.
Wow, wow, wow.
So we paying players to not play for Carolina. So what you could do? You know the good thing is the guy from Kansas City, Brand Tilt, came in and he's the president or whatever it is, I can't remember. He's walking a cap. You know how much cap, you know how much dead money we got next year? 230,000. So this year was always going to be the tough year because we put all the dead cap in this year. Got rid of players and whatnot, so that next year we can start fresh. So this year was always going to be hard. It got real harder with the injuries. That's the issue. For the Panthers to be a somewhat adequate team, we needed the season to go by with very limited injuries. The problem is we got injuries to the worst possible people that you could get. We got injured to Thielen, the safety blanket, worst possible injury. We got injury to Austin Corbett, our center that we needed so badly. We got a worst possible injury to Derek Brown, who is the best player on the team. Worst possible injury to Shaq Thompson, who is the leader of the team. These are injuries that we cannot. This team isn't talent-wise with depth. Like you can plug in another player on another team and it looks good. Right now, you see, we just picking people up off the street fast to see if we could get some real like Shaq Larson. Shaq Larson, we just signed Shaq Larson. No, because we so deprived of talent on the edge that we just trying something. We can't do nothing right now. We are so bad on defense. We may set a record for most points. We against the Saints, it was over 30 points. Against the Chargers, I think it was close to that too. Now, let me go back and check because these is unprecedented numbers for a thing, for a team. So, week 1, we gave up 47 points. Week 2, we gave up 26 points. Week 3, we gave up 22 points. Week 4, we gave up 34 points. Week 5, we gave up 36 points. That is very high. Very, very, very high. And the way the Falcons play these past few weeks, we could give up another third apiece. Teams don't give up a third apiece every week and think you can win. As good as Joe Burrow played this week, you know what happened? He defense give up 30 something points and them lose.
Mm-hmm.
When you give up 30 something points, your team usually loses. It just happens. Shit happens. And for a Panthers team that don't have a Joe Burrow and don't have that kind of privilege to make mistakes on offense, putting up 30 points on a Panthers team is usually a loss for the Panthers. So, like I say, it give me a headache and all talking about the Panthers. I done had a headache already. I love the Pan. The thing is, I love the Panthers. I ain't gonna stop, but it's just I don't know. Like I could live with a red rifle playing. No, I need to have a plan. Like okay, so you're only 5 weeks into the season. I'm not tanking. I don't believe in tanking. But I have to be playing for something. I play the young players, or like get like so. If I'm Canales, I'm getting Jalen Coker more involved. See what he got. At this point, we see what Mingo got. Mingo's a soccer show every time the ball go to him. Either drop on his head, he catch it, he fumble, he drop on the ground, he can't find the ball. You see what Mingo is by now.
Mm-hmm.
Xavier gets looks good so far, but he's banged up already, injuries. Deontay Johnson, play. You need to play what he needs. Play Jalen Coker and see what you got. When Jonathan Brooks come back, the 1-2 punch of Brooks and Chuba should be a nice 1-2 punch. I like that. The line is still good for the time. I have to see how the center plays, but the line is still strong. Um, but again, are we going to? The Panthers need two things. We need luck and we need draft assets. Right now, we got a draft pick in every wrong on next year's draft, thanks to the trade we had with the Rams. So we have the Rams second round pick, and right now the Rams are 1-4, which is looking good for Hoy's second round pick. For now, we need more draft assets, Jizzle. I'm sorry to say.
Mm-hmm.
I would trade Thielen. As good as Thielen is your safety blanket here, at 33 years old, he can't offer you nothing right now. If Kansas City want him for a third round pick, I'll trade Thielen. Because technically, them third round pick is so late, thing of your fourth round pick. You understand? I would trade Thielen. I'm conflicted on Deontay Johnson. I had somebody ask me, you trade Deontay Johnson? My first answer was no, because why would you trade your only good weapon? But if you give me a second and a third round pick, I can trade him. I will trade him for a second and a third. It depends what it is that I'm getting. Of course, he can get a first round pick. If you give me a second round pick, this is for Deontay Johnson, I am trading him. Because Deontay Johnson gonna want 23, 24 million a year at the end of the season. He is a free agent. He will
He's still
ask.
young, right?
He's 28.
Ah, like 25, 26 then, yeah.
No, he not. He not young.
28.
At 28 they offer you like 3 year deals.
Most
But
likely
at 20,
28.
20 something million, the Panthers don't have playmakers. That's the problem. I don't look far down the road in terms of thing, but if I also look at the draft, I would try to trade the first round pick to get more picks. But that guy, remember I told you on Sunday, if the Panthers can get that guy from Arizona, the Ted fella, Ted McClellan or whatever his name is, that's a big boost to the offense. But the problem is we definitely need a pass rusher like a Will Anderson that you draft and you can, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. So but you still could need a Travis Hunter. You understand what I'm saying? So you kind of look all types of different places if you're the Panthers. You could still pick up a quarterback, a Jalen Milroe or Shade or something. So even though I wouldn't believe in that in a quarterback, that's not a popular pick right now for this Panthers team. But it's just you got so much questions on a Panthers team that is losing hope. And I think this year was always going to be that year that you have to accept what it is, because Dan Morgan and Brent Tilt inherited a mess from Federer and them. And then you look at next season to go, but because guess what? We got a lot of 1 year veteran deals on that defensive side because they were EJ Avero's guys. He just brought them in on 1 year deal because they knew the system. And all the assets was shifted to the offense. How was the best way for him to build his defense with very limited resources? So they got John Fuller, 1 year veteran deal. Joseph Jewell, 1 year veteran deal. Ashan Robinson, I think 2 years. Nick Scott, 1 year veteran deal. Dane Jackson, 1 year veteran. So he brought players in that can you could work with. You understand what I mean? But this wasn't a year for the defense couldn't take no injuries. And what happened? You lose the best player on the entire team. Derek Brown can change a game in the run lane for you, and we lost him. So is EJ gonna be here next year? I don't know. Honestly, I was telling you today, KG, I would offer Robert Sala head coaching money to be my defensive coordinator. And if it's one thing he know how to do is coach a defense. Let Canales remember one thing I like with persons that have like very new in terms of head coaches, they had experienced veteran defensive coaches. Kevin O'Connell could work on the offense, because guess what? Brian Flores gonna deal with the defense. Sean McVay was so good on the offense because he had Wade Phillips playing on the defense. You understand where I'm coming from, Jizzle? Those kinds of stuff work. The Panthers need a veteran. I mean, I don't mind EJ, but I don't like the cover three that he playing. We don't have people playing cover three. Right now, we can't get no thing. So the state of the Panthers right now is not very good at the moment. It's hard to me to watch the Panthers play. And then, like I say, we are always here watching the games, and every game before the kickoff, I excited. But if I gotta get turned off from the game by the first quarter, then I waste my time. Why am I getting turned off by the first quarter?
But in reality, your team don't have the tools to compete. So I mean,
But then why you putting out? So you trying to tell me that a college team better than we?
you're not can't better than yeah, but I mean,
So
I'm
then,
telling
so
you,
then,
but
okay.
you're
So
gonna have to go through the motions for
yeah,
the
okay.
next 2 years.
The Jaguars record says they're just as bad as we, but they got people that you could watch the games.
The coaching staff suck.
The Giants record stay. Oh, the Giants too something. The Patriots is the Patriots as bad as we? Their record states that they're as bad as we.
Yeah,
Are they as bad as we?
yeah.
I'm sure you could watch the games though.
They changed. They make it. They made a quarterback change just now.
That ain't gonna help the team.
Exactly.
But what I'm trying to say is, are the games watchable?
Probably not.
No, man. The Patriots always got good defense though. The Patriots
Defense
don't
is
lose
good.
big, you know.
Defense
It's
is
just they
good.
can't. They don't have nothing on offense. The Panthers, you can't watch offense. You can't watch defense. That's how bad it's been. Outside of the Raiders game and the Bengals game that we should have won, the other three games was horrendous to watch. You couldn't watch it. And my thing about it is, where do you turn? Because in the offseason, you still have so much work to do. You still need to add playmakers on offense. But you have to fix the defense as well. That's my issue with the state of the Panthers. Where do we turn? So, because the offense is not finished. We don't even know if we have a future quarterback on the roster. But then the defense is so bad of talent, so dreadful of talent. We gotta have to spend on defense too. The problem is the Panthers is not an attractive destination. So guess what? You gotta overpay.
Mhm.
You understand? So that's what gives me headaches talking about the Panthers. It's like I don't see the direction. Like I trust Morgan and them, but we don't have a long-term answer. I think Bryce Young could still be it, but I don't know how the coaching staff and the management feel. Is he the answer still? So if you get rid of Bryce Young, who's your long-term quarterback? I don't know. So you need to get there. You still need receivers because the receivers we got ain't good. Then you gotta fix not a defensive set. You gotta fix the entire defense. I could say like you, I could easily say, but my cornerback's good, but my line weak, so I need to get some edge rushers. I can't say that about the pass. I gotta get edge rushers, D linemen, linebackers, the only and safeties. The only thing I could say is JC Hahn, Mike Jackson, Dane Jackson, in Shah Smith Wade I could live with as the corners. But I need to get safeties, I need to get linebackers, I need to get edge rushers, and I need to get D lineman. I can't get all of them in one half season while still trying to get a tight end, a quarterback, and some receivers. It's too much to get. Last year we had a problem that we couldn't Dwight Young get sacked up so much. We invest in the interior. It paid off because they have time. It wasn't my fault that Bryson chose to run backwards or sideways when he can step up into the pocket. He shell shot. Dalton showed him how to do it. Okay, I understand that. The problem is when Thielen went down, who your receivers? Mingo can't do it. Leggett, he's still a project. And Deontay, he come today and then don't come tomorrow. Titan, nobody fears any Titans that receiving Titan on the Panthers. So, like I say, it still burns me that I gotta go through this with the Panthers. It's like every year I ready. I can't wait for football, and then it hurts
You get
by
hiccup.
October. By October, it hurts already. Like I done looking to see what can happen in the off season. I should be looking to see how I get in the making to the play, trying to get pushed to the playoffs. But I just looking at think. Well, this game gonna tell me something. This game, like, honestly, this game against Atlanta gonna tell me if the Panthers ready to sell or the Panthers actually playing with pride and have some players that we can roll with going into the next season. So I'll see. We'll see. All right. So this will I'll take it over. What is the state of the Eagles?
As for now, for the first, you could say, first quarter of the season, it's more of a disappointment so far. From the way how they started against the Saints, the Falcons, the Buccaneers. I mean, this team hasn't scored a touchdown in the first half since the season started. With the weapons you got, with the offensive line that you have, with the running back that you have, that's unacceptable to start a season in that way. You decide to bring back a head coach who struggled later down the season last year. Instead of you relying on some football mind to hire a coach, you decided to rely on a GM to hire your defensive coordinator and your offensive coordinator. It doesn't seem to have worked as yet. I mean, yes, you saw a few good things from Kellen Moore in the Packers game with the motion and things like that, but it still seems like Nick Sirianni still has some say in the offense. I believe Nick Sirianni should have no say in offense. From the time that he was hired, he showed you that he was not a great play caller. He shifted over the play calling to Shane Steichen. In the 2022 season, he showed you that he does not know how to fix an offense when it's struggling. He told you that he doesn't need motion in his offense to be effective. He didn't know how to fix the quarterback when the quarterback was struggling. But he still decided to bring this guy back. And now again, the team seems to struggle yet again. And it's not just on offense, it's on defense. It's like the team is taking the mentality of the head coach. Just a passive mindset. And a perfect example was the game against the Buccaneers. The team came out unprepared. Defense wasn't tackling, missing tackles. Offense wasn't prepared. The play calling was horrible. I didn't see the creativity that Kellen Moore showed in the Packers game. It seems like Nick Sirianni was inside of Kellen Moore's headset all game. Again, I've been saying from the start of the season, Saquon Barkley should be the focal point of that offense. In that game, Saquon Barkley only had 12 touches in that game against the Buccaneers. You had no AJ Brown, you had no Devontae Smith, understandable. You had no Lane Johnson. That's okay. But come up with a creative offense to get your quarterback comfortable in a rhythm and attacking the football field on all phases. I don't understand how is it that Baker Mayfield didn't have his right tackle. Struggled against the blitz against the Broncos the week before. You know what his offensive coordinator did? Made it easy for him. Gave him quick throws, quick pre-snap reads. Made it easy for the quarterback. I didn't see that. I didn't see that from Kellen Moore and Nick Sirianni. I'm not sure if Nick Sirianni is kind of handicapping putting a little hold on Kellen Moore. But I think this has to change. There was no using Saquon in the run game. I mean, I understand you didn't have AJ Brown and Devontae Smith, but find ways to scheme those guys open too as well. I'm still seeing Jalen Hurts turning the football over too much too. I thought this was corrected during training camp because all throughout training camp we were hearing he hasn't thrown a pick. All practice in 11 drills and all type of nonsense. He hasn't thrown a pick. But you understand why he didn't throw picks? He wasn't getting pressured. He got on a red shot, so you can't hit the quarterback. And on defense, you already know how I feel about Vic Fangio already. But as a veteran defensive coordinator, you have to find a way to put your players in position to be successful and make your defense successful on the football field. You just can't just say I'm a lineup and I'm a just call a defense that I know and that's about it. The game against the Buccaneers, they gave up 2 3rd and longs on the same drive, a 3rd and 7 and a 3rd and 11, playing 10 yards off in coverage. Whatever happened to press man coverage? Again, you have 2 cornerbacks who ran a 4.3 speed. Why not play bump and run? Then in your press conference, you're going to say they have the freedom to play tight press man coverage. Bullshit. Because if you know that your team need to play tight press man coverage, you're going to tell them to play press coverage. No Kobe Dean. Look good week 1, but that was it after that. Missing tackles. Allowing the quarterback to manipulate him with his eyes and throwing the ball right past his face. It was a simple, easy touchdown. I think it was, I forgot who it was. Tony Shepard, it was to Russell. Receiver just ran behind Kobe Dean, and there you go. The ball zing pass right past his head. That's it. Touchdown. Easy. He's not instinctual. He has no play recognition, no awareness. He's too small. I don't understand how is it that Nakobe Dean was the starter over David White when the season started. After they said that David White was the starter during training camp. Played was linebacker 1 throughout the whole of training camp. But then you go week 1. You decided to he had an injury in practice and you decided to make Nakobe Dean the starting linebacker over Devin White. Makes no sense to me. I think this is an issue with the front office too as well, meddling in football operations. And if that doesn't change, this football team would make it far. You probably make playoffs. Maybe you might make NFC championship game because you have talent, but this team ain't making no Super Bowl. Not with how they're running this thing. They gotta change this organizational philosophy of creating big plays and limiting big plays. This bend but don't break nonsense. Gotta get rid of that. Got to get rid of it. It ain't working. It didn't work for you with Jonathan Gannon. It didn't work with you for with Sean Desai, and right now it doesn't seem to be working with Vic Fangio. To me, Vic Fangio can't coach up and coming players. He could only coach stars. There's a reason why he hasn't won a Super Bowl as a defensive coordinator. In San Francisco, he had stars. When he was at the Bears, he had stars. When he was in Denver, when the defense was was good. He had stars. Van Miller and those guys, Justin Simmons and those guys. Even with the Broncos, he had stars. He had star cornerbacks. Xavier Howard, Jalen Ramsey, and those guys on the defensive line. He had stars. You don't have that with the Eagles. You gotta find ways to be creative on defense. Mixing up your packages. Not just sitting in soft zone, cover 2 shell all game, or cover 4. Come up with a design blitz. Whatever happened to moving your star defensive tackle in certain places along the defensive line? Create mismatches. Right now, Jalen Carter is your best pass rusher. He's your best playmaker.
The Eagles was once well known for 4-man rushes, didn't he?
Not no more. It can't work no more. And Vic Fangio has to understand that he doesn't have that. So at times you're gonna have to blitz. You're gonna have to blitz to create pressure. The game against the Buccaneers, he sat in zone coverage all game. I think it wasn't until in the late third quarter when he decided to change up his coverages. And I don't understand how you could sit down there, watch film, know your opponent coming up, know who they played the week before, know that he struggled against the blitz and pressure the week before. Because name me a star defensive player that the Broncos have. Surtain, and that's it. A star cornerback. That's about it. But he struggled against that defense. I think he got shut out in that game. And he only scored 7 points.
Oh,
the Buccaneers.
Yeah, like 9 or something.
9 points. Why? Because the defensive coordinator created pressure. He didn't sit on his own coverage all game. Any quarterback would beat you if you play 10 yards off. Bryce Young would beat you if you're playing 10 yards off.
I know about it.
Yeah.
It's
simple.
Don't put Bryce Young in your arguments.
It's simple. It's simple. So hopefully they were able to go in this bye week and find ways to make this team better. Because I'm gonna get into that Cleveland game in a little bit, but on Saturday. But if you come out of this bye week and go against Cleveland and struggle against that Cleveland team, because Cleveland is one of the worst teams in the NFL right now. Horrible defense, horrible offense, horrible quarterback play. So you shouldn't be struggling against the Cleveland Browns. The Washington Commanders right now look like a better team than the Philadelphia Eagles. And that's hard to say. And I don't know how much longer I can watch Vic Fangio's defense. If he keeps sitting down in the sub zone coverage. I don't know how much longer I could do. I'll watch the offense, because I think the offense will be better. Because Jalen Hurts will have his weapons back with Devontae Smith and AJ Brown. But I don't know about this defense. And I think Vic Fangio is a stubborn defensive coordinator. He doesn't seem to change. The Buccaneers scored on 3 straight drives. 12-play drive for 75 yards, a 7-play drive for 80 yards, and another 15-play drive. All in the first half.
That's something that.
All in the first half. Against a Baker Mayfield who looked horrible against an inferior opponent in the Denver Broncos. So you just can't say that it's just the players. It's the coach. And I think I said it in the chat, in our group chat before. The Eagles will not win another Super Bowl with this coaching staff and with Harvey and Jeffrey at the helm of this organization, running the football operations. They got to change it. They got to.
They ain't changing no time.
Well, we ain't winning. Simple fact of it.
I think I
If the Eagles play the 49ers, they're gonna lose.
I think I'd be a better team if Sirianni wasn't there.
I think we better be a better team if Howie gets a head coach and allows the head coach to make the decisions. See, that's the problem.
I think Sirianni knows that he kind of coached this year, basically coaching for his job. So he's a little too involved. We need to let the people do what they're doing. Kellen Moore had success in Dallas and Los Angeles. Let him do what he's doing, but if you're gonna be involved so much, then what you expect to happen?
Remember, I said last year this will be a problem. But again, the Eagles don't want to say that they hired the wrong coach.
They ain't gonna say that.
They ain't gonna say it, but it's true. You hired the wrong coach. You gotta stop hiring these puppet head coaches who hasn't done anything in this league. Get you an established offensive coordinator who can work with your quarterback. This is gonna be if it doesn't work this year, you're probably gonna fire Nick Sirianni. Then after you're gonna fire the offensive coordinator. So this gonna be what Jalen Hurts' fifth year, and it's gonna be what 4 years that he's had different offensive coordinators. That's not consistency for the quarterback. That's not good for the quarterback's development. And most likely, I could see Jalen Hurts not being the quarterback for the Eagles in the next 2 years. It's a possibility. It's Carson Wentz all over again.
That big contract deal, they have to hold him for some time.
They're gonna have to hold him, but eventually, if 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 the coaching staff can't fix it,
Mm.
and he doesn't come out of this slump, because right now he has the most turnovers in NFL since the beginning of the 2022 season. No, 2023 season.
Mm-hmm.
26 turnovers. You can't continue to win games when your quarterback turning over the football at that rate. So again, this bye week couldn't come at a better time. Couldn't come at a better time. Hopefully, they were able to find ways to correct a whole lot of things because I have a lot of concerns about this football team. A lot. Way too much for the talent that they have.
Well, like we say, we're gonna discuss them games on Saturday. Philly versus Cleveland should be easy, but that's not NFL play. Then Atlanta versus Carolina. So that's our next show will be on Saturday at probably a little after 7:30, between 7:30 and 8. Well, I mean, it's 5 games into the season, you got 12 more, 17 games in the season.
So to make out 12 more big fan Joe and have zone coverage.
A lot of teams still in it. Even the one-win teams somehow in it still. So technically, every team got a chance to make a little stride, but we'll see what happens when on week 6, guys. Like I said, the state of these two teams is trending down, not up. So we'll have to see what happens in week 6. But like I said, Saturday we'll do our preview show, preview the games, see how we're feeling, see how we're looking, look at the matchups, and then give a prediction. And then Sunday we'll have some football. So I think that's it from us for tonight. If you are a Panthers fan, I know what you're going through. Still give it some patience. You need patience because this season was never going to be a good season. Give it some patience. If you are an Eagles fan, are you panicking? Are you worried? Are you okay? We'll see. We'll see what happens
Worried.
as we go on this week. This week's a crucial game, especially with Washington playing so well and out the other NFC teams winning. So
Mm-hmm.
it is a crucial game for you guys against a Cleveland team that's kind of nowhere right now.
A
So
horrible team. It's a
yeah,
horrible team right now.
so we'll see what happens. But like I said, show your love by liking and subscribing to our page. Keep up to date with all our football content. Panthers fans, Eagles fans, Niners fans. That's the content that we do. You can always like and subscribe. And you can always join us if you want. Just send us a DM on Twitter. We can get you in. Outside of that, that's it from us. And we'll see you guys on Saturday at 7:30.
Peace.